Morning, y'all. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. How are we, folks? Good to see you on a magnificent Monday. Alison, Andrew, Doug, Luke. Cracking day in Geelong. Bit miserable looking here in the Gold Coast, mate. Glad it's looking awesome down there. Hope you're all well, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Getting ready for the week. Had some of you know, I do a little bit of live stream commentary from climbing competitions. So had a climbing competition on the weekend. I had a great time. Feeling a bit tired this morning, but that's all right. We'll see how we roll. Hope you had a good weekend. What have you got up to? If you're new around here, hey, there's my name, Jason Whitten. Thanks for joining us on the live stream this morning, Wealth Coffee Chats. Started about 3 years ago, around the COVID times, as a way to stay connected with the people that I've been helping for over 20 years invest in real estate across Australia and New Zealand. Property investors, maybe just like you. Along the way, each day, get to share a few things. And today, folks, I wanted to talk about business owners specifically, but many of you tuning in aren't necessarily business owners, but it's still very relevant, some of the lessons and the conversations that we're going to have. So stick around. Don't run away on me. But today I'm just going to share a little something about business owners and something that myself and Andy are up to this Friday. We've created a little course program for business owners specifically when they're creating some wealth outside of their business, and wanted to share a little bit of an insight with that for you guys today. So hang around. Hopefully it's useful. Sharon, good morning to you. Jeff, good morning. Fantastic to have you guys here. Hey, listen, sadly, unfortunately, many business owners, yeah, absolutely, you treat your investing like a business for sure, Alison. That is an absolutely essential approach, that's for sure. You've got to make a profit, and you've got to look at it in that way as you grow your portfolio, that's for sure. Many traditional business owners starting their own businesses for all sorts of reasons. Hey, good morning, Kylie. Good to see you. Many traditional business owners start out wanting some extra freedom or want to work for themselves or express some creativity and hopefully be a little bit more in charge of their financial well-being. And unfortunately, the statistics show that that's not the case. A recent study released showed that 86% of business owners in Australia earn less than $100,000. Now, $100,000 is not a bad income, but still, it's not knocking it out of the park, is it? When you have a look at, all the extra stress and pressures that come along with owning and running a business, the rewards aren't necessarily there. And the average is $63,000. Now, that's certainly not a huge income. Certainly difficult to, borrow money on if you want to be a property investor. And for many of them, 30% reported that they have at one time not even paid themselves a salary or paid themselves an income of any description. That's a crazy thing, right? There you go. Well, listen, today I wanted to talk to you guys about, this business owner idea. Many, business owners start out, in the, let's talk about, this sort of 20-year in business. The first couple of years, the 0 to 2 years, this is the exciting time for many business owners. They've got some freedom. They start to make some money. Often, there's this kind of 2 to 4 year window in business owners' lives where we get to where we have some challenges or problems. Often these things are things like, have you paid your GST on time? Have you paid your taxes on time? Have you paid your PAYG or your super guarantees on time? All of these sorts of things. Super PGs. Because many business owners, often we don't go through any training we kind of get going, we have some dollars, and we forget about, the amount that we have to put aside for taxes, GST and other bits and pieces. We don't get a lot of training. Now, that's no excuse. You've got to do it. You've got to make sure it's done. But we don't get a lot of training up front. You can start a business in one day and get on with it as you go. Now, business owners, they make their way through the world, and let's say they get to 20 years. Some of the challenges for many business owners, and if we got a few business owners in the chat here today, tell me the 3 biggest challenges business owners face financially outside of their business, folks, outside of their business. Tell me what those are, okay? Certainly from a real estate point of view. Anyway, for me and you, tell me in the chat, what are the challenging stuff? What's the challenging stuff for business owners that often we don't get a very good run of it? Anyway, I'm trying to sort of ask a question cryptically without giving away the answer. Does anyone know? Chuck that in the chat for me. There's 3 things, financially 3 things that business owners, small to medium business owners, when we start, there we go, Lauren. Boom. Borrowing, lending money. Okay, lending money is an absolute disaster. It's really hard. Lending, yep. Having a life. Certainly, Ben, the time to start businesses. It's not all rainbows and sunshine, is it? Yep. Borrowing. It's the number one issue. And it really peeves me, folks. Really peeves me. I believe, the bank should be lending. There should be much better lending for business owners out there. You know what? You can do better if you're structured properly. I'm going to talk to you about that. Yeah, understanding how taxes work. Yep, GST. Boom. Stephen, you're dead right, man. All right. So, lending, how your, let's call it compliance commitments work. All right, compliance, which is GST, income tax, PAYG, all of those taxes as a business owner. Now, listen, no one sits you down and teaches you it. Unfortunately, most accountants don't do it either. Financial planners don't do it either. Like, it's actually, in my world, in my head, it's kind of like negligent. If you let if you let somebody go and drive on the roads, like think of it like this, right? Okay, you bought a car. You've got money, you can buy a car. But if you don't have a license and you've never driven it before, yeah, off you go, mate. Drive around. It's like, what? Anyway, this is an interesting one. So lending, it's hard. We get stuck with compliance and dollars. That actually affects your lending and other things even more. This one here, is a bit of an issue. Hang on. So this one here is a bit of an issue when it comes to creating your wealth. Super. Tell me. Morning, Kevin, all the way from Florida. Great to see you, mate. Hey, tell me, folks, those business owners here, how are you going with your super? Yeah, most business owners don't pay themselves or don't pay into their super well enough, right? Okay. And I'm going to add a 4th one here, which is, they don't know whether their business value, they don't know whether they've got an asset or an ATM, all right, in their business. Yep. You're the last to get paid. Yep, dead right, Luke. So it's a challenge, folks. It's a challenge. It's an absolute challenge for business owners. Now, it doesn't mean that if you're in the world of PAYG and career, you have any other challenges. Everyone's got challenges in one way, shape, or form. I'm just talking about the business owner challenges today of creating wealth. And we all know that wealth, gets a kick on, certainly in Australia when it comes to real estate, when you need to borrow, when you need to lend. Businesses can be a bit challenging when it comes to that sort of stuff. So, how do you solve this? How do you, get ahead of it? How do you, make sense of this stuff? Well, I told you guys that just at the start, myself and Andy Fenton here's a little bit of a plug. All right. Oh, is this right? Let me see if I can do that. No, hang on. Don't click that. Or maybe we do. I'm trying to get you a link, folks, to what Andy and I are up to. But that doesn't look like the right one at all. Let me see. Andy and I are going to do a little show, a little program in the next little bit called The Deep Dive. Anyway, we might have to, I might put the link in a bit later on. We're going to do a little bit of a program, a show for those in our database, in our communities, about how you as a business owner create some, all right, there we go. Got rid of that thing. Anyway, didn't work out for me. Let me show you. I'm going to go here and do this one. All right, how about that? Is that any better? I'm going to do it this way. The old audio dropped out. Anyway, a little bit off the pace this morning, folks. Let me know if we're back. Yeah, we're great. All right. So, with a business owner, there's 3 bits that we need to get our head around. All right, and I won't dive into this today, but this is just a little sneak peek of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking through 3 things that are really important for business owners to understand. How we control our cash, what structures we run our businesses in, and is your business an asset or an ATM, and how to create assets from your business as we go. We're looking at things like security, control, and visibility as a business owner, and that's the wealth protection, wealth creation function of these 3 pieces that go together. And myself and Andy, well, in the cash section, we're going to be talking about bank accounts, we're going to be talking about lending, we're going to be talking about personal guarantees, and how you manage those 3 in a way to make your life a lot easier for investing. This is investing for business owners for sure. Now, that gets affected by these 3 things, folks. Directorships. What are you on the hook for? How do you get penalized or rewarded as a director? Appointors, does anyone know what they are? If you don't, you should, because they have the ultimate control of many structures. Many of you don't even know who your appointer is. Shareholders, what's the difference? What's the difference between a director, appointer, or a shareholder? And how does that affect your borrowing? More importantly, how does that affect your wealth in the future? More importantly, how does that affect your capital gains tax, your ability to create assets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? All right, away we go. And rolling out here, do you know if you are creating assets in these 3 places? Is your business an asset? Are you able to sell it in the future? If you're not, what are you doing about that? Do you know how to create a $2 million tax-free sale in the future? Maybe even more. In your personal world, many of you guys here on the call today are working with myself and my team. We're getting coaching and support. We're working in these 2, the personal and the super world. Excuse me. Creating wealth in those 2 places is important for business owners. If this over here is a mess, if that stuff's a mess, if this is all messy, you can't do that. And that's the challenge for most business owners, because your lending and your PGs, your directorships, your shareholders, your appointorships are a mess. and that stops you going forward, folks. Okay, so we're going to be diving deep on Friday, and if you're in our mentoring program or you're on our Facebook page, I'm sure I'll put a bit of a link up for this one, actually. Or keep an eye at our email, join our email list, and you'll get the invite. On Friday, we're going to dive deep into this and have we're going to do it for about 3 or 4 hours, dive into this structure, how you as a business owner can structure yourself properly to be maximum efficient, to be able to invest, buy assets, structure yourself well into the future. We're not business coaching per se, as in, this is better for marketing or sales or whatever. No, you know your business. You know how to create money through your business. And Andy and I are going to show you guys how to make the most of that creation through your business most efficiently, and then take some of the risk off the table. All right. So the idea of it, folks, if you want to come along, we've got 2 parts to it. We want to be able to reduce our risk. We want to accelerate our wealth. And we want to minimize our taxes. All right, legally minimize our taxes, folks. If you want to come along to that, this is our 3-step part. Reduce the risk, because you are exposed to more risk than most. You want to accelerate the wealth as you go, and you want to minimize any tax along the way, because in the famous words of Kerry Packer, if you're paying more tax than you should, you need your head read. There you go, ram it home, boom. There you go, Deb. Yeah. It may be recorded, Trace and Rose, or Rose. It's going to be this Friday, folks, for business owners, 9:30 to 12:30. Take a few hours off your business and come along. It will be absolutely essential for you to see what's going on here. Andy and I presented this to a number of other business owners also, and they absolutely loved it, raved about it, folks. So there you go. Anyway, I think that's it. That's my little plug for our show. That's the little plug for the show coming up real soon. It's called the Deep Dive into the Exit Plan for business owners. Deep dive to Exit Plan. And if you're real keen, yeah, that's actually a good one, Alison. I'd love to. I think I might put that on the radar for a couple of chats for sure. So if you're keen, track it down, folks. It'll be on our Facebook page, our Facebook group, or in your email. So have a check of that. Brendan said, "Can we get a topic how to buy your property through super?" Absolutely, we can do that. I might even get Andy Fenton on for that one as we go. And Trace is saying, or Alison is saying, "Hey, listen, wouldn't mind a little side hustle conversation about businesses." Yes, good. I'll put that on the radar also. And Kylie, go and register, Kylie. Just make sure you register for the event, and then you'll be able to get a replay on it. There you go. All right, folks, that's it. A little bit slow off the mark this morning, but there you go. Hope you're all awesome and well. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted for a marvelous Monday. Buying through supers would be great. Yep, for sure. All right, I'll get that one on the radar. It sounds like it's be a pretty popular topic. All right, folks, that's it. Done and dusted. You guys be awesome. Be well. Join me tomorrow for another Wealth Coffee Chat. I might do a little something with super if I can get it organised tomorrow with Fenton. All right, folks, you be good. Bye for now.